and welcome back to my channel. Today is day 40 of my Ketovore / carnivore challenge. This week has been a little bit rough. I am still healing from my fall with my knee, and it's been a little frustrating because I take longer to heal on the right side because of my stroke, which means that I am not really able to start my exercise until that is healed. So that's a little frustrating, but we'll work through it. I've also been on my menstrual cycle this week, so it's kind of been just a roller coaster of what the heck. I have pretty severe symptoms usually, and that includes migraines, nausea. My inflammation goes just all over the place. My POTS acts up. I feel like I have the flu for, a week and a half, while my hormones do what they're supposed to do. So we've kind of just been taking it a little bit easier this week just because this cycle has been so much worse than my last one that I just haven't been excuse me, I haven't been as strict on this challenge. Mainly because my sensory issues my sensory issues kind of dictate some things sometimes, and they decided that all of the safe foods that I have kind of discovered on this particular way of eating were not acceptable. So it was down to either me suffering through it or me going, screw this, and diverting from my diet a little bit. And I chose the latter. 100% a choice, 100% probably the wrong choice. But I was attempting to be mindful of my carb intake at least a little bit. So I know that I kept it under 50 grams of carbs a day, which does qualify me for keto. But I was certainly having, peanut butter and, one of my daughter's cookies here and there. And I just, mentally, I was kind of beating myself up about it. Physically, I was hurting, and I just didn't care. I did step on the scale this morning, and I am 283.8, which means that I did not gain any weight over my period, which is kind of amazing because typically I will gain, 2 to 5 pounds, and then I will slowly work back off of that. So that tells me that I have lost a pound in addition to all of the inflammation and stuff that's going on in my body right now because it's the end of a cycle and it's kind of moving out. So that made me feel a little better just given the fact that I had a complete and total just breakdown this week and I still wasn't completely off track, which just gives me a little bit of peace of mind. And then I tested my ketones last night, and to nobody's surprise, I am out of ketosis. Again, not surprised. I 100% expected it. I have been doing a little bit of research on um, the woman's hormone cycle and ketones, and I need to do a little bit more, and I do want to eventually do like a video on it. But basically, from what I have learned, it's not a surprise at all that I'm kicked out of ketosis. I guess the hormones, and again, I need to do a little bit more research. The hormones do something to the insulin and the glucagon in your system, and they like elevate it. And I mean, that is the fastest way to kick yourself out of ketosis, because ketones and glucose, they don't cross. It's really just one or the other. So we're going to take the next 3 days to really do as low to no carb as possible and see in 72 hours if I'm back in ketosis. I did start my morning off with some eggs, bacon, and cheese. And for funsies, I did do my macros with that. So I'm sitting at like 42 grams of fat, 0 carbs, and 40, 41, 42 grams of protein. Overall, I'd say that's pretty good. It's almost like half of my protein goal for the day. So I will probably do some bison or chicken, or maybe the fillets in the fridge tonight for dinner, and we'll just keep it as low to no carb as possible. If I do have a protein shake, I think they're about 8 grams of carbs. So if I do carbs today, it's probably going to be a protein shake. And we'll keep on keeping on. Sorry for the boring update, but it's been a week. Hopefully next week is better. I am starting to do some at home by myself rehab on my knee to get it moving, so I can at least start doing some body weight exercises here next week. And even if that means that I am super low impact, gotta start somewhere. Anyways, I will see you guys next time. Bye.